The other one is, I think that we haven't paid enough attention to the fact that the Deputy Secretary of State of the United States, Kennedy, at the beginning of this year, right after the underwear bomber on Christmas Day, this Secretary of he's the Undersecretary of State for Consular Affairs, meaning visas. So he was on the hot seat. Why did you give him a visa? Why did you let Abdul Muttalib, the underwear bomber, why did you let him have an entry visa to the United States, without which he never could have gotten on the plane? And he said, well, we wanted to take it away from him, but we did an interagency review, and there was an agency that came forward, which he didn't name, saying, no, you've got to let him keep his visa because we've got eyes on him. We're following him. He's a little fish. He'll lead us to the big fish. And, of course, the reality was that's the perfect cover to let him do whatever he did or didn't do, which I guess we still don't know. But the idea is it's a collusion and deception in which these expendable patsies, but again, then you've got the patsy supervisors, the patsy minders. You could probably think of Al-Awlaki, the CIA lackey, as a patsy supervisor and patsy minder. And every now and then, for whatever reason, these things are exposed. Sometimes it's bureaucratic rivalries. Sometimes it's simply a coincidence. Right? There are coincidences in the world, and sometimes for various reasons these things come out from people that with other motives. But the bottom line, of course, is that these events are staged. They're part of the management of world affairs by ultimately the banking elite. In other words, all this stuff leads back through various mediations back to Wall Street. Because if you look again at Yemen, it's not just that you can have dictatorship at home, but you can also attack countries. In other words, if I have Al-Awlaki, the CIA lackey, and I've built up an aura around him, right, a cover story, a legend that he's really an authentic terrorist firebrand and he blows up buildings and things like this. If I send him into a country and he surfaces in the country, say Yemen, I'm now free to bomb Yemen, and that's what they've been doing, right? The U.S. has bombed Yemen a number of times, allegedly with the idea that they were going after Al-Awlaki, the CIA lackey.
All right, stay there. Let's briefly come back and sum up where you see this going and how dumb do they think we are? It's now hidden in plain view. Oh, when he's not having dinner with the Secretary of the Army, he's running underwear bombs. I mean, it's just so transparent, ladies and gentlemen. This is after they said he masterminded 9/11. He's at the Pentagon. I mean, come on. Webster, you got to go here in just a few minutes, but other key points. Again, why do you think this got leaked? Do you think it was somebody, really a good guy inside, or what would be the reason for them to leak this info that who they say the #1 guy in al-Qaeda in the world, he's hanging out with the Secretary of the Army?
I don't really know. It's difficult to speculate. Sometimes you have to wait for a few weeks to go by to figure out what the context was. It could be that there's a faction fight inside the Pentagon. It could be that the faction fight involves what the next step will be, right? There may be one group that's more adventurous that wants to have a false flag, maybe vis-a-vis Iran, and there may be another group that says that's not a good idea, and they proceed in this way.
Or it could just be good guys inside that know that Al-Qaeda's synthetic and that they're tired of it.
Well, good guys, I wouldn't say good, but the lesser evils, let's say. There may be lesser evils inside who realize that some kind of a war with Iran, say, if that's what it is, would be a catastrophic adventure, worse than Iraq, most likely leading to a world war within a number of years. So there were those considerations, too.
You mean like Fox Fallon 3 years ago refusing to, the head of CENTCOM, to launch the attack on Iran?
Yes, somebody who says this is, not for choir boy motives, but simply because even from an imperialist point of view, they might say if you attack Iran, then your Anglo-American imperialism will collapse faster than it would otherwise if you didn't, right? Or you might want to wait for some other option to emerge, right? I don't think it makes much sense to speculate, right? If you have an inside source report, that's good, but right now I don't have one about this. So rather, I would suggest we look at what people can do. And since I have you on the phone here, in the last minutes, let me just recommend there is this birth certificate march on the U.S. Capitol tomorrow, right? That's Saturday, and it starts at noon on the west front of the Capitol, right? This is Phil Berg's march. He's the lawyer from Philadelphia.
Yeah, we've had him on.
You've had him on. He went to the Supreme Court in August of 2008 to try to get Obama to reveal his birth certificate, his place of birth, and all these elementary constitutional things. And this is a broad umbrella, right? There are all kinds of reasons not to like Obama, right? If you're anti-war, if you're anti-Federal Reserve, if you're anti-Wall Street, if you're anti-dictatorship, and so forth, right? The key to all that is Obama. And I personally look at it this way. If he can't produce his birth certificate, which he can't do, because otherwise he would have done it, not only has he not done it, but he's fought against people who have tried to go into the records and pull out whatever there is there. Who knows what it is? We still don't know. If he could do this, he would have done it, because it hurts him. But in reality, he hasn't done it. So I take it this means that he's blackmailable. And this, for me, is the key. If he can't produce the birth certificate, it means that anybody who knows this fact, meaning a whole series of intelligence agencies, foreign, domestic, Wall Street, Saudi Arabia, you name it, right? Any country you want to name on the list, it means that he can't be president of the United States. He's the puppet of whoever is blackmailing him with this information. I don't know that that's the case, but that's the obvious prima facie danger, and that's intolerable. So if he can't produce the birth certificate, he really has to leave office as president, because he can't be president if he can't prove that he's qualified.
Webster, thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, tomorrow at noon at the Capitol. Hope to see people there.
Absolutely. Eastern time, folks.